Deep in her eyes, I think I see the future. I realize this is my last chance. She took my arm. I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and just oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said ooh, ooh. Shut up and dance. Don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said ooh, ooh. Shut up and dance with me. Ooh, ooh. Shut up and dance with me. Ooh, ooh. Shut up and dance with me.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and I won't be long. Gotta do my hair, put my makeup on. It's Friday night and I won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, but I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. But I don't need no money as long as I can feel the beat. I don't need no money as long as I keep dancing. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Gotta paint my nails, put my high heels on. It's Saturday and I won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, but I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. But I don't need no money as long as I can feel the beat. I don't need no money as long as I keep dancing. I don't need no money as long as I can feel the beat. I don't need no money as long as I keep dancing. Oh, baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. But I don't need no money as long as I can feel the beat. I don't need no money as long as I keep dancing.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I got music playing, so it's like
Oh,
getting ready to
nice.
go. We're technically live on YouTube, but I haven't shared the link on LinkedIn yet. So
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds good to me.
How are things? I feel like it's been forever.
It does feel like it's been a minute. Yeah, things are good. I've been making a list of like stuff to go over on Friday together and some ideas for you too for
Yeah,
this
I have some ideas to
outreach.
run through you too, and I was like, okay, I've got to chat with Em. You also came up
Yes.
yesterday on a meeting with the West Virginia Creative Network.
Mm-hmm.
They are looking for some contacts regionally, and I was like, you haven't talked to Emily already. Definitely talk to Emily up there in the northern part of the state.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's great. My application was just approved to join. I only applied like a week ago, but like I'm actually in it now, which I'm excited for. So,
oh yeah, it'll be incredible. So I think I gave them your name, but I assumed that they would have your contact somehow. So
oh yeah,
maybe reaching out.
perfect. Cool. Yeah, and then I'm working with Jamie Cope for like a sewing workshop that I'll be doing for the Youth Innovation Center next month. So
Oh,
got to be with him
good.
and catch up a little bit this week too. So
You're all over the place, girl.
all over the place.
How are you doing? How are you navigating all that?
I feel like it's just like feeling more energy. Like something good happens, and then it like makes me more excited to do the next thing. And I
Yeah.
was looking. This is we're like closing out the second best month that we've ever had with the studio, so I'm excited.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's so fun. I think you sounds like you are this similar to me. Like I am a energy all the time. Like if
Mhm.
energy goes, I just keep trying to build on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which ultimately becomes a curse eventually.
Yeah. At some point, like I need to just sit still for like 5 minutes, but that's okay.
At some point that will become a curse.
Yeah. There's a book. It's called Make Your Bed. It's a super fast read if you've never read it before,
I
but
have
it
not.
basically talks about like making your bed in the morning is accomplishing the first task. So like by doing a good like a small first task, it makes you more inclined to do more tasks. So like
Interesting. And you
your
know
bed
what? I
every
do
morning.
make my bed every day.
Mhm. Me too, yeah.
I'm looking over here because you're on here and the screen's full. So
Yeah.
if you're wondering why.
Yeah, no, all good.
Hey, we have 3 people in the waiting room already.
Awesome. So I have a question. If this is live on YouTube too, do they have access to like dropping questions and chats and stuff too, or like how does that work?
Yeah, so they can add comments on YouTube. I don't know how many people will get to actually watch the live. But I also will monitor. I'm about to post a LinkedIn, so I'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if we've got anybody. We had 54 people registered, and I sent out the registration link again to anybody that had registered. It's going up, and I think people are really interested in the recordings on the back end too.
That's fantastic. I'm glad it's getting some momentum here. That's great.
Honestly, for that many, for only being our third one, like this was a test, right? And
Yeah.
so we'll see. I think Sarah's on. Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
Make her have a co-host break.
I am on. I'm just working out some camera issues as usual, so I apologize. I'm working on
Per the
it.
norm.
It's literally every time I use Zoom. I don't know why. It just hates me. While I'm working that out, so I know this is scheduled for 30 minutes. So am I the whole 30 minutes? Am I 15? Give me a time frame here, Amber.
Ask M. And this is M's baby. I'm here.
All right, Emily.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes is good. If you have a little extra content that you want to go over, we can expand it just a little bit more. Maybe leave like 5 to 10 minutes for questions. Recently, because we're pretty new at this, it's just been me asking a bunch of questions at the end. Like we haven't had too many people chime in yet. So if you have more you want to say, definitely go for it. But I have some questions prepared just in case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm getting back to the start of my presentation as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to share my screen really quick as a test, if that's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is just on for because we're technically live on YouTube,
Okay.
so you're welcome to do that. That looks great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right. So I figured I would just give some background on what we're doing and then dive into how to register. So
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll start with like a intro, introduce you, and then I'll pass it over. It's all yours.
awesome.
Mhm.
And can folks ask questions in the chat at the same time?
Yes. Do you want to answer questions as they go if that comes up, or do you want to save that for the end?
We can do the end. Let's just do the end.
Yep, you got it.
I'm going to start letting people in. And Sarah, if you want to just go ahead and share your screen from the start, or Emily, do you want to kick it off and then throw it over to her? Whatever is easiest.
Yeah, I'll do the intro and then pass it over to Sarah. So.
Cool. All right, I'm going to let people in and I'm going to disable the waiting room. So.
Okay.
Give it one more minute and then I'll hit record before you start.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Because I always forget. I'm getting really bad at that. Okay, I'm gonna hit record.
All right, go for it. Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to our West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem LinkedIn Lunch Series. This is a series designed to help entrepreneurs who are starting or scaling their business to navigate a required state process or resource to help get that going. So today we have Sarah Carey from the Secretary of State's office, who's going to walk us through how to register your business with the state of West Virginia and what that looks like on the One Stop portal. So Sarah, go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Emily. As she said, my name is Sarah Carey. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you. Can you all let me know you can see it okay?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So a little bit of background. The business division for the Secretary of State's office, I oversee all business registration with our office. I also manage 3 separate locations in the state of West Virginia, one right here in Charleston, one in Clarksburg, and one in Martinsburg. And I oversee the use of the One Stop Business Portal. That web address is onestop.wv.gov. Some folks who you can also get there by typing in business4.wv.gov. Either way, it'll take you to the portal. So if you've received the business for web address, that is still accurate. So no worries on that. The role of the Secretary of State with business is we store the agent of process. That means if your business is unfortunately going to be sued for any reason, where are we going to send that paperwork and to whom? We handle formation of domestic businesses, and we give authority to foreign or out-of-state businesses to conduct business in the state of West Virginia. A lot of times people will see that word foreign and think we just mean out of country. So just for clarification, we only mean out of the state of West Virginia. We also handle specialty licensure for some specific business purposes. If you're a scrap metal dealer, not only do you have to register your business, but you have to register as a scrap metal dealer. Same is true for litigation financier and charitable organizations. So if you're a charity, so all charities are nonprofits, but not all nonprofits are charities. And we can, send you over some more information on if you think you're a charity and what those qualifications are, if you have questions, if you are considering taking donations within the state. We also have registered notaries and marriage celebrants. A marriage celebrant is somebody who is given permission to marry people. We currently have over 170,000 businesses registered with the Secretary of State's office, and we registered over 18,000 new businesses in 2025 alone. That's a huge number, which is fantastic. I do want to point out that that number is only registered with the Secretary of State. We're going to get into that in a moment, but there are certain business structures that do not register with the Secretary of State at all. They only register with the state tax division. So that would be a sole proprietor, general partnership, and some associations. We love using technology to try to help folks register their businesses. 2 of the things that are nationally recognized at this point, and we're national award winners, were our Business Startup Wizard, which we won an award for in 2019 internationally. And next is our Solo Virtual Assistant. So through the West Virginia One Stop Business Portal, you can file anytime, and some of those filings process automatically once you're already registered. So if you're changing your officers or you need to file an annual report, then those things will process automatically. You can also access the Business Startup Wizard from that website, and it walks you through and gives you some helpful tips and pointers about business structures and things of that nature if you're really not sure what type of structure you want to be. Our solo virtual assistant assists you as well with business filings. It is the first use of AI in West Virginia government, and we are actively updating it with new technologies and capabilities. The solo virtual assistant is found at wvsos.gov. You can literally type in a question and ask it a question at any time. And there are some kind of quick links that you can use that are helpful, that are kind of frequently asked questions that we get. So whenever you log on there, if you really don't know where to start, you can use some of those quick links to try to help you through. Most common business types in West Virginia are LLCs, which are $100 to start with a Secretary of State. There are an additional $30 to register for your business license, which is issued by the state tax division. So we actually don't issue your business license itself. Sole proprietors, as I stated earlier, they only register with tax, so they only pay the $30 registration fee. A for-profit corporation is also $100, and nonprofit corporations are $25. Foreign businesses that we discussed earlier, they do have some different fees, but they do register similar information with our office. You can get, so certain businesses have to have an FEIN, which is issued to you by the IRS. You can get it for free by going directly to irs.gov. That's important because if you just try to do a Google search for how to how to obtain an FEIN, there are a lot of third-party vendors that will try to help you get that FEIN, but they are going to charge you money. So please note that you can do it for free by yourself on irs.gov. You only need to obtain an FEIN if you have more than one owner for your business or W-2 employees. Otherwise, you can use your social. We offer at the Secretary of State's office 2 separate waivers to that $100 registration fee if you're an LLC. The Boots to Business waiver is specific for veterans. It's going to waive the initial registration fee and the first 4 years of your annual report fees. Veteran owned means that it is at least 51% owned by a veteran, an active military member, or the spouse of a veteran or active military member. We also offer the Young Entrepreneur Act. It waives the initial registration fee only for our most common business types. So that's included for corporations and whatnot. It also, the qualification is that it must be 51% or more owned by the individual who is a West Virginia resident under the age of 30. So this kind of excludes some of the foreign registrations, but we're trying to help some younger folks get started in business pretty easily. Once you've registered your business, which I promise I'm going to get to how to go about that, if you're an LLC or a corporation, you would be required to file an annual report with our office every year. Even if you qualify for the Boots to Business waiver, to where we're going to waive your fee, we still need your report. So the report just confirms or updates your officers and addresses and contact information for the business. It's really important that we have the most up-to-date information for your business at all times in case we do need to reach out and contact you for any reason. The cost of an annual report is $25, and it is to be filed anywhere from January 1 to June 30th. If you try to file on July 1, you will have a late fee. If you don't file that annual report for 3 years, unfortunately, your business is revoked. And it can also be filed right on the One Stop Business portal. Again, that is an automatic process. So there's no manual approval on our side whenever you file online. As I stated earlier, those third-party vendors, they're also going to attempt to help you file your annual report. Every year, they charge more and more money to try to help you do so. It's $25 with us directly. And this year we were receiving reports of third-party vendors charging $250. How can you tell if it's us or a third-party vendor? We will never send you anything in the mail that would be a form for you to fill out and return. We only send you reminder emails as a courtesy to let you know, hey, your annual report's due, please file that. But you won't receive an actual form in the mail from our office unless you call us and say, can you mail me one? So also on those filings that you might receive in the mail, they have to clearly state that they are not affiliated with the government and they are not affiliated with our office. So please read the fine print on those if you do receive them in the mail. So let's take a look at the One Stop Business portal. On the right over here is what it will look like if you were on a mobile device. And on the left over here is from a regular desktop computer. So once you get to the West Virginia One-Stop Business Portal, the first step you're going to do is hit create user account. If you do have a user account already, because you've tried to explore this a little on your own, you would simply hit login, which is right below that. Once you've hit login, you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. To register your business, you're just going to push register a business. The questions that it asks you on the website are smart, meaning it's going to go to the next question based on the answer to the question you just told it. So if you are filling out an LLC application, your questions may be a little bit different than if you're going through and you've selected that you're a sole proprietor. So just note that you may have different questions if you've started a business previously. You'll continue on through that entire application. It's very easy. It's what is your business name? You'll type in your business name. Who are your officers, your members, your managers? Are you at will or term? Those words, some of those things can be confusing if you've never looked into or operated a business before. Please feel free to reach out to all of our business specialists. I'm going to give you that phone number. It is 304-558-8000. Anyone who answers that phone call would be able to assist you if you have questions on what some of these words mean when you're going through your application. One of the also really good benefits I'll note with One Stop Business Portal is when you file with the Secretary of State's office by paper, you must also file by paper with all the other agencies necessary in the state of West Virginia. So that means the state tax division for your business license and Workforce West Virginia if you have employees. When you come to the One Stop Business Portal, it's only going to be one application and it's going to cover everything that you would need in the state. So going back to it being a smart application, if you do not have employees, you'll have to sign that you don't have employees, and that if you have them in the future, you would report that to Workforce West Virginia. However, it's not going to send your application there. So it'll know what agencies the filing needs to get to, and it'll take care of that for you. It also has the option on there. It'll ask you when you're starting an LLC if you have an FEIN. If you do not, it takes you to the irs.gov website automatically. So there's no guesswork on are you in the right place? It's going to take you there. So on this screen, I mentioned that after you start your business, you may have some other things that you need to take care of later on. Like, let's say that you want to bring in somebody to help you run the business. So you want to change your officers, or you started in Morgantown and now you want to move to Martinsburg, and you need to change your addresses. So you're still going to be able to utilize the One Stop Business Portal. Once you log in to onestop.wv.gov, you can simply select the Secretary of State button right here, and it gives you all of these extra options of things that you can do. So you can file your annual report. You can change those addresses and officers. You can file amendments if you want to change your name. You decided you don't like your name anymore and you want something different. You can do that. You can also register trade names. I do want to talk about trade names for just a brief moment because I think that they cause a little bit of confusion in the business community. A trade name is simply a nickname for your existing business. It gives you permission to advertise under a different name than your legal name. So if you think about a business as being your baby has a birth certificate, which is your articles of organization or articles of incorporation if you're a corporation. And that's the baby's birth certificate. And that's its legal name is whatever you've called it. But let's say you then give your baby a nickname. My daughter's name is Kaylee, and we call her Little Miss. So Little Miss does not change her legal name. However, if you file a trade name, you would have permission to legally call your baby whatever you want it to do. So I hope that makes sense. I try to make it a little funny when I talk about that, but sometimes folks get a little confused and they say, I have a business, but I also have a trade name, so it's a different business. It's not. Your trade name business purpose should really match the exact business purpose of the actual legal entity. So sometimes folks will want to say, well, I want to do, hair with my LLC, but then I want to do construction with my trade name. You really shouldn't try to do it that way. But this is the screen where you would do any of those subsequent filings once you're registered. You'll also note that there's a special message for cannabis organizations. I will note that anybody who is considered medical cannabis organization cannot use the One Stop Business Portal. It is against state code. So you unfortunately would have to do all of your filings by paper. And that's clearly noted when you first go to the One Stop Business Portal. There's a pop-up you have to actually close out of that tells you, don't come here. It's not the right place. We do offer expedited service options through Secretary of State. Our standard turnaround time is 5 to 7 business days, but maybe you need this faster. This will not get you your business license faster from the state tax division, but it will get your filing to the state tax division faster. So in addition to your regular $100 LLC fee, for 24-hour service, you would pay an additional $25. We offer 2-hour and 1-hour options as well. People do utilize this. Sometimes people really just need their business registered today. So those options are at the end of the filing online. And you can just select which one you would like. If you decline expedited service, your turnaround time is 5 to 7 business days. Always also check with your county and local government for any additional registrations you might need to conduct. So you may need to register for a contractor's license with the labor board, but also if you're going to be conducting business within the city of Charleston, for example, you would also need a city business license from them. So we are not your final step. Neither is the tax division. Depends on where you're going to be conducting work. Please reach out to those counties and municipalities independently. Some businesses also would require approval from a professional licensing board before we can approve your business. That would be engineering, attorneys, doctors, all these people that we in the public want to trust that you know what you're doing. If I'm going to hire you to build me a house, I want to know that you're an engineer. So those are additional licensure that we might require. It'll be very clear on your application when you're applying online. If we need additional information from you, it will request it at that time. When you are ready for your first employee, 2 to 3 weeks prior to that start date, inform West Virginia Tax Division and inform Workforce West Virginia for unemployment. If you start an activity in another state, so maybe you live in Parkersburg and you want to conduct business across the river in Ohio, you also need to register with Ohio, so you'll want to contact them as well. These are some great resources for you all. The Small Business Development Center, SBDC, they're fantastic. They have business coaches that can help you organize and figure out what your next steps are. Tuesday Legal Connect is actually put on by the state bar. They offer a free service to businesses who have some legal questions. Attorneys do have to have continuing education, so attorneys volunteer their time to be on this call. You can call that number right there on your screen on Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. and get some help from an attorney if you don't want to hire one. Also, please check out West Virginia Business Link. So that is a catalog of resources available to you. It really is limitless what is on Business Link, so please check it out. It's a great resource. But if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer some. Otherwise, I'm going to kick it back to you and stop sharing my screen, Emily. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing those resources, Sarah. And we do have a question in the chat, and I have some questions as well. So if you're okay getting into those.
Absolutely.
So Bruce asked, for a trade name, say my business name was Bruce's Butcher Shop, and I list a trade name that way, but over time the public refers to the business as Bruce's. And do I need to list that as an additional trade name?
Sure. So if the public is just calling you that, that's okay. The thing that matters and what's most important is, what does your signage say? What does your website say? If you're going to put an ad on a billboard, for example, you would definitely want to make sure that it is listed correctly with what you're allowed to utilize. But the public just calling you that would not trigger any sort of issue.
Thank you. So what documents or materials do you recommend having ready before going into One Stop to start the filing? Because having to write out like the articles of incorporation or organization, what do you recommend going in prepared with?
Absolutely. So Really, it's just information that you would know. You know what you want to call your business. You know where you're going to be located or what your addresses are. It's not going to ask you for anything additional that when you say, I want to start a business, like your business purpose, what type of business are you starting? You kind of know that ahead of time. There's not really anything that you would need to bring with you or have in front of you. Other than maybe your social security number, if you don't know what that is. But otherwise, it's pretty simple when you go on there. I think that the questions are pretty simple to be answered.
Do you have any recommendations for writing out like the business purpose and stuff like that? Do you have any resources for if I need help writing those to go in prepared?
So a lot of folks do think that we need some sort of big long paragraph of like, this is what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
The business purpose can be as simple as retail sales. That's
okay.
We only need to know, like, it has to be descriptive. It can't be, I want to start a business in West Virginia. The real question is, what's your business going to be doing? So if you can summarize that in a couple of words, feel free to do so. If it does take a paragraph for you to do that, please feel free to do that as well. But really, we are just looking for, get straight to the point. What are you doing in this business?
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought it would have to be a little more like long-winded for some reason. It just feels very like mighty. And then you mentioned that you can make changes to like people involved in your business through the one-stop portal there. Am I able to change the type of business that I am? Like if I start as a partnership and now I'm not a partnership anymore, is that the same process?
So when you're changing a business structure, it's not
Mhm.
the same process, and none
Okay.
of those can actually be done on the one-stop portal. It really depends on what you are changing from and what you are going to, if we offer what's called a conversion.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, you mentioned partnerships specifically, so I will talk about that for a moment. A lot of people think that if they have two people, they're a partnership. And that's not necessarily true. You can be an LLC that has multiple members. A partnership is an actual business structure that has different legal requirements. It can be more expensive to file a partnership, and some of them are reserved for professional entities as well. So when we say partnership, make sure that we don't mean multi-member LLC. You might have a partner in business, but not be a partnership. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
If you are wanting to change your business structure, the best thing you could do is either utilize our solo chatbot to find out what are the steps, or contact one of our business specialists at the office. We'd be able to help you walk through that process.
And that's at that 8,000 number.
That's correct. 304-558-8000.
8,000. Okay. I have another question in the chat. Is there a threshold for when a business that is not registered within the state needs to do business as a foreign business? And then, for instance, is there a certain dollar threshold limit or anything if a business registered in Maryland wants to do business in West Virginia, for example?
Sure. So this is actually a more complex answer than you would think it would be. For the Secretary of State's office, our official statement is, if you are doing business in West Virginia, you must register here. The state tax division, I cannot speak for, but I do know that they operate a little bit differently, and they might have a dollar amount threshold. But again, I can't speak for tax. So if you're more interested in that question, we may want to contact tax division. I can also give you their phone number in the chat right now.
Sarah, I'm thinking from the perspective, and sorry, Emily, like we've got a lot of tech companies, right? It's a little harder when you're not a brick and mortar to know where your customers are. Like that looks different. So I was just seeing if there was any way to articulate when does a company that doesn't necessarily have a brick and mortar location need to start registering with other states when they're doing business?
Gotcha. So for us, if it's Maryland wanting to register here, it's from the moment that they're going to actually be doing business. So at the moment that they have their first client or that they're going to advertise in the state of West Virginia, they would need to register at that point. We do on occasion run into situations where we have folks from Ohio that want to come across the river and do one job. Maybe they're a contractor and they're going to replace a roof. We do offer exemptions for foreign businesses to register here under certain circumstances. If they are conducting interstate commerce, which would really just be maybe there's, a wine distributor that wants to sell their wine in West Virginia, they would qualify for an exemption for that purpose under interstate commerce. We also offer an exemption in the case of the roofing company doing a roofing job in Parkersburg, for example. They could qualify under an exemption as long as their business activities are lasting less than 30 days for a set 30-day period. So there are several different reasons that a foreign entity could qualify for an exemption with our office. And that's also one of the questions that they will encounter on the One Stop Business Portal. Do you think you qualify for an exemption?
Another question in the chat here. Just to clarify, the One Stop Portal will take care of everything. So for example, if I'm a retail business registering as an LLC and I'll be collecting sales tax, we'll have employees, will all of the appropriate offices such as tax department, workforce registration requirements be met? Also, the business license, is that different from the business registration? The way I understand it is the business license is issued by the tax department. Is that correct?
Yes. So when you are registering your business on the One Stop Business Portal, it will go to all of the agencies that's necessary. So it will come to the Secretary of State's office first. Once we approve it, that application is automatically sent on to the tax division and Workforce West Virginia if that's applicable. As far as the business license, business registration certificate is the actual legal name for a business license. So a lot of times people see business registration and business license as two separate things, and that's actually one and the same. We say you are registering your business with the Secretary of State's office, but what you're actually doing here is filing your articles of organization or articles of incorporation. And we do not issue the business registration certificate, which is your business license. I hope that that's helpful. It is issued by the state tax department.
Okay. Is there a way to flag if we are non-compliant in the Secretary of State requirements? Is that just the annual reports?
So there are several different non-compliance specifically would be that you did not file your annual report. We do have a public side database where you can search a business and find out if they are compliant. It's on WVSOS.gov under business search, business entity search. You can type in the name of a business to see if they are compliant or not. It will have a bright red flag at the top that says not in compliance. If you see a business that's not in compliance, it simply means that they need to file that annual report. There are some other circumstances you may run across if you are looking into an entity. If you ever see R for revoked, that means that most cases, it means that they did not file an annual report for 3 years and we had to administratively dissolve them. There are some other cases that we can revoke a business. For example, a material misrepresentation by the business, or maybe it was reported to us as fraudulent. Or maybe they're a professional, like an engineer, and the Board of Engineers has revoked their professional license for some reason. We would revoke on those grounds as well.
And are nonprofits considered businesses in this situation through the Secretary of State? It's the same process. So if you're a nonprofit, you do all these same things.
Absolutely. So when we talk about businesses in West Virginia, we mean both for-profit and nonprofit. They are all businesses. Mm-hmm. Nonprofit also, a lot of times people will say, well, I'm a nonprofit. That's awesome. It's a type of class. It's called a business class, for-profit or nonprofit. But there are actually several different business structures that are all nonprofit, meaning corporation, voluntary association, unincorporated nonprofit association, and most recently, DUNA, decentralized unincorporated nonprofit association. I know that's a lot. It's overwhelming. I apologize. Just want to cover it all. So when referencing if you are for-profit or nonprofit, it's simply telling us that you are a business that is either making money or doing nonprofit purposes, but that's not about your business structure. Mm-hmm. Hopefully
and
that's
can you speak? Yes, it does. Thank you. Can you speak to the difference between a DBA and a trade name?
Absolutely. So those words are actually interchangeable. For our purpose, we call them a trade name. State Tax Division calls them a DBA. However, the majority of the public calls a sole proprietor a DBA, because a sole proprietor is kind of like incorporating yourself. It's you are making yourself a business, but what do you want to advertise as? So you create a DBA under your sole proprietor, which is what you want to advertise as. But those words in general are completely interchangeable. It just means it's a nickname for your business, whether that be a sole proprietor or an LLC.
Another question. I was told an LLC was recognized by the state, but not by the federal government. If so, how should that be handled?
That's actually a really good question, Bruce. I have not really dug into anything federal government wise on LLCs, if I'm being honest. I know that they're issued FEINs, so I'm not sure when you say they're not recognized exactly what you mean there. But I unfortunately can't speak for the federal government either. They are within West Virginia State Code as a business structure, but I'm not sure. I can't really speak for the IRS.
I would recommend, and Bruce, I'm happy to, if you would like a connection, I think RCAC Apex Accelerator would be able to maybe help support some of that question, because they're focused on federal procurement if you need a contact there.
Okay. I think that is at our time. So if we don't have any more questions, I do appreciate the questions that were dropped in the chat. Sarah, I appreciate you going through the spam concerns. I know I've received a lot of those letters before, and we get the emails from your office saying like, don't recognize these. And I've used the WEA multiple times. I think it's a fantastic resource. I've even used the Rush service because I did need my nonprofit filed that day. So all really great resources and a very helpful office. We appreciate you coming on today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Cool. Thank you.